This Bitcoin billionaire just predicted Bitcoin to have a $500 trillion market cap. But not only did he do that, Michael Saylor is at it again and being even more bullish than he's ever been before. What does he know? We're going to dive into all of the potentials. But first, let's listen in to the Giga Chad himself.
Come from Russian real estate. It's going to come from Chinese private equity. It's going to come from everything in Africa, everything in South America. You have capital flowing from foreign financial and physical assets to Bitcoin. You have capital flowing from 20th century assets to Bitcoin. The capital is going to flow from the 20th century to the 21st century. It's going to flow from physical to digital. It's going to flow from currency-based derivatives to a digital commodity derivative. So it's already happening. It's unstoppable. It's literally like, for me to say Bitcoin's going to demonetize gold understates it. Yeah, it's going to demonetize gold. Then it's going to demonetize the real estate that's 10x more than gold. Then it's going to demonetize every long-term store of value. So what you have is a situation like the Europeans show up and they give like some Dutch guilders or some pieces of paper or some glass beads or seashells or stone coins to people using a more primitive form of money. And we have the opportunity to, in essence, just grab 10, 20, 25% of the network, go from 2 billion to 20 billion to 200 billion to 2 trillion to 20 trillion to 200 trillion. And when it gets to 200 trillion, it'll chop along at plus 20% to eventually 300, 400, 500 trillion dollars. And
there we go. There we have it, folks. I missed it a little bit for you at the beginning, and you got to hear the full explanation on what Michael Saylor is talking about here, how he believes that it could take over every single market and really demonetize all of these different markets. I mean, we always make the comparison to gold, right? I mean, look at where gold's market cap is comparatively to Bitcoin currently. We've got gold sitting at a $21 trillion market cap. Gold has significantly been outperforming Bitcoin here lately, and it's more than 10x bigger the market cap. But Michael Saylor has this now seeing like it could be passing gold and passing all of these big things. Now, why does he think that? Let's back it up here. His prediction of Bitcoin reaching a $500 trillion market cap, it wasn't like, hey, it's going to get to this 500 trillion market cap all of a sudden, right? He talked about it getting to 1 trillion, 2 trillion as it already is. Then he's going to get to 10, 20, 30, 40, 200 trillion, then get to 20% and just kind of continue to gain throughout that time. Now, why is this man so bullish? Well, we've said, we have my man, Bitcoin therapist coming out and saying, hey, Bitcoin will eventually have a market cap of 500 trillion. You don't have enough Bitcoin, right? But what is Michael Saylor seeing? He's seeing Ryan Cohen and GameStop now having an immense amount of Bitcoin. In fact, they have 10 times the market cap of MicroStrategy when they first started buying Bitcoin. I know you guys in the comments are going to tell me, hey, it's strategy now. At that time, it was MicroStrategy, folks. They bought $250 million worth of Bitcoin right off the jump. Well, what is Ryan Cohen doing? Buying $1.3 billion. They have 10x the market cap, 10x the free cash flow ready to go comparatively. And their first buy is already 6 times the size of MicroStrategy's first buy. So that's something that Michael Saylor knows right off the bat. He knew Ryan Cohen and all of these guys were going to continue to buy. But what else does he know? He's met with Eric Trump and the Trumps. He's seeing this. Eric Trump said, two friends, one passion as Bitcoin. He knew that the strategic reserve was coming. He knew all of these different things. But another unique aspect is he's been in the room with Senator Cynthia Lummis, who's been a huge Bitcoin advocate for quite some time. So what has Cynthia Lummis been doing? Cynthia Lummis has been proposing this Bitcoin strategic reserve for the U.S. to buy 200,000 Bitcoin for 5 years, hold on to it for 20, a totaling up of 1 million. And what did President Trump do? President Trump has endorsed Cynthia Lummis for re-election to the Senate. Senator Lummis has continued to look very good to the Trumps, and they've continued to endorse her. But what else is Saylor doing? What else is he looking at? Saylor's looking at this $200 trillion Bitcoin strategy for the U.S. to dominate and, quote, become immortality. What has Saylor proposed? Saylor has proposed to the U.S. government that they buy up 25% of the network. That's 5 million coins. That's 5 times bigger than what Cynthia Lummis has proposed. Now, why is he proposing that drastic of an amount? Well, he's claiming that it will be life-changing money. It'll be an economic decision that will change the history of America as we know it and will continue the U.S. dominance as long as we all potentially live. But it's absolutely massive. It's no short feat. So what Michael Saylor is seeing with all of this, why he is so confident and seemingly getting more and more bullish by the day, that's because of all of these things that I'm lining out. He's seeing other business owners, all of his wealthy individual friends, continue to buy up more Bitcoin and double and triple down more than when he initially came and bought Bitcoin. He's seeing this. He's seeing all of these politicians now see Bitcoin and look at it and look extra juicy. He's seeing that all these politicians are saying, hey, we want to add for a strategic reserve. We want to build a sovereign wealth fund and have Bitcoin in there. We want to do all of these different things revolving around Bitcoin. So what does that mean then? That means, hey, I want to see a 200 or a $500 trillion market cap amidst the calls to bolster the U.S. strategic reserve. So Bitcoin's role in this economy is under renewed security following recent developments, but that didn't stop Michael Saylor, as he's saying, for a $500 trillion market cap. This statement comes amid legislative push to bolster America's Bitcoin's holdings. Recently, President Trump signing that executive order, and it's just the start, right? It's just the start. As my man Down Under Blues is saying in the chat, don't forget, Bitcoiners are currently in the minority. It's going to take time and patience. I agree. We're seeing this sort of seemingly swim along, right? We're seeing the Bitcoin price still at 83,000, almost 84, with this bullish news, with Michael Saylor being such a huge Bitcoin bull, down 4% nearly today. Now, with that, right, as my man Down Under Blues is saying, we are early. He's saying he doesn't see gold going away anytime soon. There will always be value in gold, and I agree. There will be value in gold. People like the jewelry. I'm wearing a gold chain right now. You know, you like it. It's a little flashy, but hey, I mean, you like to see the chains pop every now and then. SF Hoddle saying, I'm so lost, Brandon. Explain everything. Well, that's what I'm here for, folks. Michael Saylor on stage saying Bitcoin is going to get to 500 trillion. The market cap here of Bitcoin currently is at less than 2 trillion, nearly at 1.5 trillion. But what did he say? You guys heard it. We'll replay it here.
$2 billion to $20 billion to $200 billion to $2 trillion to $20 trillion to $200 trillion. And when it gets to 200 trillion, it'll chop along at plus 20% to eventually 300, 400, 500 trillion dollars. And where is that capital going to come from? It's going to.
And he lines out. You guys heard it at the beginning. I showed you where he said that capital is going to be coming from all over the place. Capital is going to be flocking into Bitcoin. I am not going to be surprised if we're going to see more and more of this giant capital coming in. I mean, we saw it yesterday. I did the video on Saudi Arabia, UAE, all of these giant places finding a bunch of capital to invest in the United States. Imagine all of these guys when they start to figure out Bitcoin. They're going to be throwing money on it, right? There's always going to be that. And where Bitcoin is at right now with a $1.665 trillion market cap, let's get the calculator out here. Let's do some quick maths to see how much bigger that 500 trillion market cap is. So 500 divided by 1.6 is 312, right? So every dollar adds about 6 on that market cap. So we would see a 52 times price increase here from 83,000 to get this. So we would see Bitcoin at potentially, we've been seeing all these other people calling out this 28.3, 28.3, but I think it might actually be even higher, or 23.8, excuse me. I think that that's why this might be even higher here, where we could potentially see that Bitcoin price skyrocket in flight. Psh, afternoon delight. We'll get a little bit of that for you guys. We'll get a little bit of that afternoon delight. Bitcoin ripping. We'll find it. I know everybody's looking at these charts and saying, Brandon, what the hell are you talking about here? Bitcoin absolutely skyrocketing after a $500 trillion market cap. But that's beside the point, folks. Bitcoin's going to keep ripping and roaring. All of these guys are seeing the value proposition of Bitcoin. And this is why I'm going to give you guys some free sats. So get your Lightning wallets ready, because we got Bitcoin Well here, my good friends over there, just ready to give you guys some more sats. So if you go to bitcoinwell.com/greencandle, it'll look like this. You could sign up. You could put your email in there today. Every time you buy Bitcoin, you will earn Wishing Well tokens, which is what I've earned here today. So I can use my Wishing Well tokens, and I will give you guys this to give you guys some more sats. You could win up to 1 million sats if you just guys go and sign up today. So go ahead and do that. And then here, get your Lightning wallets ready, because we're putting in the coin in the well. Another one of 210 sats. So hurry up and scoop up those sats as quickly as possible, folks, so you guys can continue to stack away and potentially retire on that Bitcoin as quickly as possible. I'll leave it up there for a little bit longer as we are talking about Michael Saylor predicting a $500 trillion market cap. Now, with that, right? All these guys, they're saying, hey, Michael Saylor is saying that eventually this market cap is going to get to 500 trillion. We just simply don't have enough, right? We see him with Ryan Cohen. Look, Ryan Cohen, he needs Bitcoin to hit 500 trillion because this haircut that he's got working here, buddy, you need a barber. What are we doing here? This guy's got to work on his style a little bit. But hey, what we're seeing is we're seeing a company 10 times the size of MicroStrategy when it first started buying Bitcoin, now buying Bitcoin. They had 10x the cash flow, right? 10x. And then we're seeing this. Eric Trump making Michael Saylor look like a shorty. Eric Trump's looking like he could play for Team USA basketball standing next to Michael Saylor. He looks like he could dunk on him here. And what are we seeing? The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve incoming. At least my man Eric Trump can find a barber, right? And then what else is Michael Saylor seeing? He's seeing this. Hey, we're going to pitch a $200 trillion Bitcoin strategy for U.S. Bitcoin domination and immortality. We're seeing this. We're seeing all of these signs here. The signs with Brandon Keys here. The signs that we're amidst a Bitcoin bull run. The signs are lining up here. The only thing that isn't lining up just yet is Bitcoin's price action. We're waiting for it to continue to move. And it will. It will start to move soon. Why? Well, what we've seen here with gold, right? Gold tends to lead Bitcoin. Gold has added $7 trillion to its market cap in the past 12 months. What do you guys think that means for the overall economy? $7 trillion to gold's market cap here in the past year. Gold's a $20 trillion asset. So it's literally added a third of its market cap that it currently had in the past year. Past year alone. That is massive amounts. SF Holidle's asking if we will see a weekend pump. Look, it's tough to say for the weekend, but I would not be shocked because we're seeing global M2 money supply increase as well. And we saw Bitcoin pump to 88, 89 yesterday, and we've seen it fall off a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another pump this weekend. But we do have a conference coming up next weekend, folks. BitBlock Boom. If you guys are looking for a chance to see this ugly mug, come join me in Dallas, Texas next weekend. I get in a week from today. You can go and use promo code Green Candle for 10% off your entire order. Get yourself some and come hang out with the Green Candle down in Dallas. We could all D-Town boogie and talk about what we're seeing here with gold and Bitcoin. Gold absolutely ripping and Bitcoin not necessarily following yet, right? So we're going to see that eventually start to catch up. We're going to see it all start to rip here. We are. Just stay patient. As my man Down Under Blues is saying, we're in the minority, folks. We're looking at all of these things saying, hey, it is not, we are still early. Q2 starts Tuesday, right? So people are going to start coming in with their quarterly earnings and everything like that here in a couple weeks. We're going to see something absolutely electric with the FASB. And we're going to see Michael Saylor and Strategy announce a huge positive earnings. So I think we're going to be in for a huge pump. My man All Nighter Hider is not in the chat, but he always says smoke the like Cheech and Chong. Hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm like 70 away or so from hitting that 11K mark. Help me hit it by the end of this weekend. If you guys see this and you're not subscribed, I know 50% plus of you that watch these things are not subscribed. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live and you guys can earn some sats while all you got to do is just watch. And I will give you guys some free sats. And all you got to do, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. And we'll be back here very shortly. I'm going to be on Why Are We Bullish here in 25 minutes. So come and join me with my man BTC Sessions and some other guys. I'm going to give my voice a little rest before we go on there. So go join me on BTC Sessions, Why Are We Bullish, in about 30 minutes. See you guys soon.